some peace of mind. But TikTok said a gator drove a Jeep through the blinds. Florida man's at it again with fireworks and a goat. And someone married a ghost in a Dollar Tree coat. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is going on? Aliens dancing in a Waffle House song. Karen's got a taser in the checkout line. And Dr. Oz just adopted birds to fight off crime. Oh, I'm just sitting here scrolling, my jaw on the floor. The internet's a circus and I can't take no more. Yeah, when it's wildin', there's a raccoon in the sink. Someone robbed a Wendy's just to steal a frosty drink. A pastor's gone viral yelling about the end is near, while folks ride hoverboards in wedding gear. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is this mess? Florida's a movie, but it's filmed in VHS. Someone fed meth to a squirrel named Dave, and now he's in a cage just throwing rave. I'm just...
Good morning, everyone. Yes, Cosplay Wednesday is back, and Mr. Mo reminded me that I need to get in touch with people to start a calendar. And if you have access to my musings with Mo, you will realize that I suddenly realize that this is going to involve peopling. Jason, honestly, I was trying to make sure that everything was staying in the area that it needed to. This is a good bit more than I generally show. So Mr. Mo approved it, as I do stuff. I do ask him, but I was just like, I feel like the dad from Footloose is gonna come and send me to a convent even worse than Kansas. Also, I feel like I'm rubbing salt in the wound because I don't know that y'all are ever gonna get an end to your book. I'm sorry. I had to ask Mr. Mo because I've not even watched the show. I was like, where does she live? Narnia? Narnia adjacent? And then I had the whole discussion that in all the high fantasy of the last couple years that have been turned into movies, you have a 90% chance, if you're the hero, to date someone you're related to. Well, okay, Star Wars, they didn't date, but they were twins and they did kiss, which I find weird. Let's see, Lord of the Rings, Aragon, Elrond's daughter, so his uncle's daughter. Granted, there are generations separating. And then this chick had a relationship with her nephew somewhat removed. I don't know. I'm just saying. Fantasy. Come on now. Well, speaking of a family that's not in Westeros and I hope has a much happier ending, but may have as many familial twists and, well, switches in loyalty, there is a lot of news that is coming out about the Savannah Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie story. There have been allegations that a son-in-law might be implicated and a hostage or an abduction note sent to local media. So I've got a couple stories pulled. I will say that I think Hella and Dolly did a live yesterday. I have been kind of Paul Carino and nothing else. So I will have to say that I am relying on other people to kind of check these things out. And I do hope that this has a good ending. Now, these shocking circumstances behind Savannah Guthrie's mother's alleged abduction from her $1 million rural Arizona home would suggest or could suggest that more than one perpetrator was involved in the crime, according to outside people looking at this. And do be aware that this is a big story, so they are going to be putting out news where they get, people that might have actual experience in these kind of things to give their opinions, but it's still speculation. Now, desperate cops have put out an appeal to the alleged abductor, but there may be signals and signs that there was more than one person involved. Now, this is more of a just speculation bit for that part. Now, a ransom note was supposedly included or sent to TMZ or some local media. Now, it supposedly left, or I'm sorry, it was left at the home. Sorry. Read, then say things. Interesting idea. Why would I be a professional? Now, it's not known if the ransom note was handwritten or if it was typed or using little magazines. So, if it was on a computer or sent electronically, I know there are ways to track that. I do hope that she is found because, and quickly, because she does have, very critical medical things that need to get taken care of. But as for really concrete news, there hasn't been a whole lot yet. Now, um, I will say that if anything more concrete other than speculation, comes out in the news, I will let you guys know. The big sort of story yesterday was the media finding out about the note and then the blood splatters. Now, you have everyone from Nancy Grace to Coffin Doodle, Coffin Dinger, Coffin Doffy. Crap, I can't even remember what the name of the woman is. I know it's a crazy name, and I know I made fun of her once. But she looks like Miss Trelawney if they hired her at the FBI. Coffin sniffer. There we go. Um, there's been a lot of, speculation about what these blood drops mean. Were they falling or anything like that? And I do think that there is enough subjectivity to how one would interpret patterns that, again, I just caution everyone to not go into full crazy speculation, um, because there are going to be things that are held back from the investigation. There are things that the police are not going to share with the media. And I know most of us want to help, but just don't go into crazy speculation station. Now, in a positive story, although a dumpster fire incubator, the Utah mother who abducted her children, claiming that the world was going to end, and she abducted them to the EU for reasons known only between her and, well, not taking lithium, allegedly in Minecraft. They have been found. Now, for again, reasons I have no idea as to why, she abandoned them in a Croatian orphanage, but they have been returned home to their father. And I hope they are getting the love and support and counseling that they need to deal with this incredibly chaotic and, I'm guessing, frightening situation. The four young siblings who were allegedly kidnapped to Europe by their doomsday mother and dumped in a Croatian orphanage have been returned home to Utah with their father after the 2-month manhunt. Kendall Seymour shared the exciting news Sunday that he picked up 3 of his children and their half brother after the police arrested his ex wife, Alicia Ann Seymour. Quote, "We're taking the kids home," the elated father wrote on an update on a GoFundMe Sunday. After so much work from so many people, the social services employees informed us that the police had finished their investigation and returned the children's passports and gave us the go-ahead to go pick up the kids from the children's group home in the morning. We're also excited to get back to mostly normal life. Now, Seymour's 35-year-old ex-wife was convinced that the world was going to end and took her 4 children, Landon Hall Seymour, 11, Levi Parker Seymour, 8, Hazel Ray Seymour, 7, and Jacob Kurt Brady, 3, onto a Croatia-bound Delta Airlines flight out of Salt Lake City International on November 30th. Now, Seymour, who does share the 3 eldest kids with his ex-wife, first sounded the alarm on the missing family after they were reported missing on December the 2nd. Now, he claims that the mother of four forged passport documents for the kids and left two ominous notes at home, including a delusional message from God promising her that she would be in Italy by Christmas and a to do list. Now, the children were found trapped in Croatia in a state run orphanage before Alicia Seymour was arrested in Croatia as well. Now, Seymour celebrated the victory on GoFundMe, sharing photos of himself and his children as they ate on the streets of Croatia before flying home to America. And they all seem in good spirits, but this has to be incredibly chaotic and traumatic. And I hope these kids get someone, anyone can find someone that they can talk about all these things. The world is chaotic and doesn't make sense to us adults. And we struggle to take things in. So I do worry that these kiddos are going to have a really hard time adjusting, because how does a little kiddo's mind make sense of mommy going around the loop and taking us to Croatia? So I am happy that this is all happening. I am glad that he got to take, his children's siblings, and right there, that is family. It doesn't matter, who the kid is. If a kid needs help, then that's what we should all strive to do. I know it's taking on a lot, uh, but that's what being a dad is. That's what being a parent is. If my bonus daughter needed anything, not to take away from her mom, but I would do whatever I needed to help her, because that's how I went into the marriage. I knew my husband had kiddos. He knew I had kiddos. It's the attitude you have to have. And I'm glad that they were able to get the kids home and hopefully getting a lot of support. Well, I honestly didn't recognize this particular actor, but Jonah Hill is apparently going to be playing a bad guy in the new John Wick, or another John Wick. I don't know. They had to pick the worst picture of him and widen it. I mean, his weight loss is already very dramatic, um, you know, to the point where I imagine he kind of struggles like me to buy clothing and get used to his new body. But you had to take like his fluffiest picture and widenate it. Hollywood, you are dirty. You are dirty buttholes. Even if I didn't think that you were dirty buttholes to begin with, that is dirty. That is mean. The same Hollywood that's like beautiful at every size. You're selling. Look, I don't know what the movie is, but I did not recognize Jonah Hill. That was really all I pulled this up for. He's looking good. I didn't think he looked terrible. Okay, I think this whole entire look is terrible for my taste, but he didn't look awful. Not everyone's gonna be super thin. People like what they like. I don't really care about it, but they didn't have to do him dirty with that picture. I do like him bald. I will say I like him bald better. He I just didn't realize he was short, but maybe all these people are tall because Keanu Reeves is tall. Welcome to Mo taking a squirrel break on live, because, why not? Well, in true crime, and I think that Dolly is covering this trial. So if you want to cover this, I think he is covering this or something vaguely related to cheating and, well, felonies. An Ohio woman learned that her husband and her boyfriend were at the same New Year's Eve party. Don't you hate when that happens? How about don't cheat? How about don't, go for audacity in the new year? Then she apparently opened fire. What the hell? An Ohio woman who fired multiple rounds at a home during a New Year's Eve party, seriously injuring one partygoer, was found guilty of attempted murder. Olivia Clendon, 29, was also found guilty by a jury on 2 counts of felonious assault and 1 count of illegal discharge at or into a habitation. The Warren County Prosecutor's Office announced in a news release on Thursday, February 3rd. Now, the shooting occurred at a home on Road in Clear Creek Township on January 1st, 2025. Don't cheat. Maybe or have cheat with someone in a different district so they maybe won't go to the same party. Or just don't cheat. It's not that hard. You kind of made promises. I really don't get it. Promises, if you want to break them, divorce. Don't be a schmuck. Now, prosecutors allege that, well, Olivia became aware that both her boyfriend and her husband were at the same party together after they both found out about the relationship that each of them were carrying on with her. Yeah, I don't know how one makes that any easier. Like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Carl, Olivia's husband, and I'm Ken, Olivia's side piece. Yes, we are. I'm going to find a dragon and take it to the defense and force them to have a cognitive thought or burn things up. I mean, either way it works for me. Now, she allegedly attempted to convince her husband to leave the party, and when she wasn't successful, she returned with a 40 caliber. I mean, it's okay. It seems like that escalated. Like, you could have just driven away. You could have left. Seems a little escalaty. She then fired 8 shots, hitting a 29-year-old male who was sitting on the porch in the home in the abdomen. Now, her husband allegedly informed police that she might have been involved in the shooting. Now, according to Dayton Daily News, Olivia was also involved in a car crash after the shooting. The victim had simply been invited to a New Year's Eve party when he found himself in the middle of Olivia Clendon's barrage of gunfire, according to Warren County prosecutor David Fornshell in a statement. Now, she may have started 2025 as a free person, but she'll spend the rest of 2026 and a minimum of a decade thereafter incarcerated for attempting to unalive at least one of her romantic interests. Well, I mean, does this prosecutor not realize that Valentine's Day, how could she buy 2 gifts? I mean, now she has yet to be sentenced, so do watch out for that because I can only imagine. uh, now I have tried to keep lordshipy to the most hateful, evil people, and there's a level below that I think. I'd be okay watching them trying to do Naked and Afraid on Snake Island, and I have just one such, well, boil on the butt of humanity. So here you guys go. Let the rage flow.
It's a curse, we got a room for the wicked, the cruel and the worst. If you lie, if you cheat, if your soul's made of bile, you're bound for the fangs and the venom in style. Oh, one-way ticket to Snake Island. Oh, where the contents, less cowards and gaslighters go. No anchor, no lifeboat, no tearful goodbyes. Trust isn't uncommon in cold-blooded skies. Best as your friend.
Probably, I think so. Just know, directly to Snake Island, covered in steaks and snake catnip. A shameful hospital employee has been accused of stealing a 94-year-old patient's wallet. Now, this is from Tampa, but I am here to name and shame because this is some rural Indiana crystal behavior right here. This is some methed up behavior that I would expect to happen in rural Indiana where the choices are FFA or Breaking Bad. Sounds like Florida's right there too. An employee at HCA Florida Brandon Hospital has been arrested after officials say she stole a 94-year-old patient's wallet. Bailey Slater used the victim's credit cards to rack up more than $500 in purchases on January 22nd. Now, you're probably thinking, Mo, that's a little bit of money. Why are you going to name and shame someone publicly on the internet? Uh, that is a huge amount for a 94-year-old who's probably on a fixed income, and it's just creepy, gross, disgusting dumpster water behavior, and we should discourage it. Make shame great again. Sparingly. Don't shame people for stuff they can't control. You can giggle at it politely, but don't be a dick. Shame people for being dumpster humans. Shame them for character flaws. This is a character flaw. And I say make shame great again. Make her stand out and, I don't know, wash cars until she earns back all the money. Have her do something useful for humanity. I mean, if she's capable, and I'm sure she is, of something. Now, a HCA spokesperson did tell local news that the hospital security team alerted law enforcement when the wallet was, uh, when the wallet showed up as missing, which is a weird turn of phrase because it wouldn't show up. Basically, when they discovered that the wallet was missing. Now, Slater is a patient care technician. Think CNA is what I'm guessing that would be equivalent to. But she's no longer an employee. This is just gross. Again, just gross, disgusting behavior. I do not like it, Sam. I am. I do not like it. No, I do not. Do not be an absolute butt monkey. It's kind of just, simple stuff that you would think people would know, but they don't. Uh-oh. Puppetry and Game of Thrones like behavior. This explains a lot of things about the Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. This makes perfect sense now. Apparently, according to a biographer for Jim Henson, and let me just say that despite being terrified of both movies, Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, they are still my favorite movies, so, be that as that may, I still think the 80s were just an incredibly dark and scary time for children's movies. But apparently he did cheat on his wife, allegedly, and had a handshake separation after a strained marriage. Who doesn't? Marriage is tough even when when everything is going great. You still have to be humble and kind. I don't like cheaters. I make fun of them. I think it's the crummiest, creepiest, disgustingest thing you can do to someone that used to love. Again, don't like it. But I also, look, I'm willing to make exception for people who made really good movies and scared me with Skeksis. So, that being said, he's not here to defend himself. And if they were both okay with it towards the end, then it's not my life, not my monkey, not my circus. But it is news. I don't know. My mom used to be addicted to people. Like, that was her one kind of gift that she would get for herself, when she was doing grocery shopping and such. And she could tell you 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. This woman is amazing. She has like this superhero power of like, I have watched this conversation happen. So my stepdad will be over here and he'll be like, babe, what was that woman in that movie with the face? And my mom will do this like blink thing. And then she'll be like, oh, that was Sigourney Weaver in something or other. That was 1984. And I'm like, the with the face? And that, how in the magic did that happen? I am convinced that my mom's mutant power is to remember actors' names. Now, she gave birth to a daughter who can't remember anyone's name, but makes nicknames for everyone. So there you go. I always thought that was amazing, though, because I really do have a hard time with names. Oh, thank you, Squid. This was my late mother-in-law's, and I never thought I'd have anywhere to wear it because uh, Tammy Faye, actually, you are one of the few people that I remember how to say your name exactly correct, and that never actually happens. So I do know your name. So I'm sorry you don't have a nickname, but I'm just kind of proud that I said Fayette correct the first time, which, given my tenuous grasp of phonics and spelling, is a miracle. So that is, Tammy, it's miraculous. But we have some headlines, one that scared the hell out of me and reminded me why I'm not having any more children, because yikes. And some others that, well, we have a good boy to celebrate, and Jesus would approve. So let's get into those headlines that will make you, well, at least this time, one third happy that you're here, and only a part but stuff today, you know. No, Squid, I didn't let anyone know that I spelled something correctly. I think Zach would have passed away, and I don't want to be responsible for that.
The key keep its scrolls, thou glowing shrine of thirst traps, scams, and dollar signs. We chant in tones both grim and low, for virtue fled a long time ago. Kyrie eleison, Christe descendat, final form Jesus return in wrath. With six-pack glistening sword in hand, he cometh swift to cleanse the land.
Well, so I still think that criminal eyebrows are a thing, but apparently a common health condition could indicate whether a woman is a psychopath. A sociopath is where she plucks out all her eyebrows that God gave her and redraws or stamps on her own. I stand by that theory. I stand by it. If a woman has overactive thyroid, I feel attacked by this article, which is basically why I'm bringing it up. Uh, Now, I would like to say also I feel attacked by my hyperthyroid because so I get the one effing condition that's supposed to make you effing skinny. No, I had it before. It's treated now. My thyroid has gone back. But I swear to God, I had hyperthyroid. And the doctor straight looked at me and he's like, it's odd. Usually they're skinny. And I was like, no shit, doctor. I looked it up on Google and I'm pissed off. Who do I sue? Can I sue myself for hyperthyroidism not making me skinny like it's supposed to? He's like, I've never seen a body react like yours. And I was like, I appreciate your kindness and your ability to say the most awful things to me. But I kind of get it. You're an inside cat. I'm an inside cat. But thanks. I enjoy being a medical weirdo. Psychologists have discovered a surprising link between hyperthyroidism and dark personality traits, including psychopathy. Can it explain why I'm not good at spelling and math? And I can't remember dates? Or my husband's phone number? Can I blame all of my faults on my thyroid? Now, hyperthyroidism, so hyper means overactive, means your thyroid is doing too much. Hypo, the O means low. So that's how I remember. Not that you might need to know medical terminology at any point, but O is, if it's hypo, you're low. It's the thing that helped me. Now, it can trigger a range of symptoms, including mood swings, difficulty sleeping, heart palpitations, nervousness, anxiety, sweating, or just normal life for me. What are you doing? Now, a study has revealed that with this condition, women who have higher levels of hyperthyroidism have higher levels of psychopathy. Machiavellianism and sadism compared to those with normal thyroid functions. How did I get masochism instead of sadism? Why the hell is my thyroid so damn messed up? Is my thyroid conflicting with my internal Catholic guilt? I mean, it would make sense. Now, these preliminary findings do suggest that elevated thyroid hormone levels could be associated with personality profiles marked by greater antagonism and reduced empathetic functioning. So there you go. Now, this doesn't mean that if you have a hyperactive thyroid, then you should, sign up for your own snapped episode. You still have self control. What it does mean is that hormones do affect a lot. So if you are worried about maybe mood swings or certain things, you can get your hormones tested. Uh, but there you are. I try. I try. So there you go. Your wife might not be crazy, but her thyroid is out to get you. Is all I've got to say. It has never been our fault. Our thyroids were always out. Should someone check on Hillary Clinton's thyroid? I feel like this answers a lot of questions for a lot of people, and I'm going to go with it. In the Thank God I'm done having children because I didn't even know this was a thing, and I would like to RSVP hell no to this. I grew a third boob in an unexpected place after having a baby, and there's even a nipple. I love that we start the program with pray for Savannah Guthrie's mom, and we kind of get to the middle where it's, hey, someone grew a third boob. And thank you so much looking around. My comments are not loading up. I do not know what is going on. StreamYard, you insufferable butt monkey. Well, thank you for those. And you actually got a membership from yourself. Squid Pro Quo got a membership. Richard DHTS Martin and Treasure Eileen and Sophia Breland. So, congratulations. Welcome to the Church of Mo. We have dark chocolate sarcasm, and today, for the first time ever, with the later start to the Paul Canero trial. Look, one day by the end of his trial, I'm going to figure out his name. I really will. Not likely. I'm just going to call him Paul the douche. But in other news, Mo makes up a name for someone. Thank you so much. Uh, but where was I going with that? Oh, I made Mad Libs. I made Paul Canero Mad Libs. So we will be playing Mad Libs today. Yes, I know it's an important trial. Yes, I know that it's. Look, the judge broke my heart and nearly my. Oh, for the. Better now? I should be better now. But the judge in the case said that we had another week and okay, let me see. I will be right back. All right, we should be back in theory. I have no idea what is going on with StreamYard. No, not that much boob. Thank you. We should be better now, I hope. No. Okay, maybe share screen. Okay. Oh, I see what it is. All right, it should be better now because it was getting my earbuds instead of my mic because YouTube is trying to StreamYard and YouTube is being awesome today. I am a professionalish person. I love, one day. And thank you so much. Look around. Awesome. Yeah, I think it is because so hopefully we are getting that new box put in because it's a temporary box from the power company. We lost a neutral and I was like, "Sir, I have never been neutral in my life." Uh and I was like, so I think that they are fiddling around with stuff trying to get things in place because I am going to rant here, but who do I need to talk to? Who exactly can I sue? Because I would like to sue, what's his face, Flipper, Al Gore, and Greta Thunberg. Okay, and I have legitimate reasons this time, not because they annoy me both. Um, because honestly, Al Gore, you're the best thing that happened to South Park in a long time, and I salute you. But I was promised mother effing Tatooine. I was promised mother effing Tatooine. I was not promised Hoth. I was promised Tatooine. And it's not my effing fault that your theory doesn't work anymore, so you can't say global warming, so now you have to say climate change, which was always happening on this planet the entire time it's been a planet. Because there's the uh Mevingian or look, there's the sun cycle and everything, and damn it all to hell, I am going to go to their front doors and I'm going to erect an entire tower of tires and I'm going to set the sons of bitches on fire. And then I'm going to get all of the 80s hair bands together and I'm going to have them do a 50 can, Aquanet salute to these two because I am done. I was promised Tatooine and now we got Hoth and no, just no. I'm done. I'm done. I am done with this. I understand it's, winter and it's February, but no, I am done. Well, apparently, this new mother, Jasmine, was in utter disbelief. New York Post, you are going to get fined for that. She's like, she has to, first of all, she puts a story out there where she talks about her third boob, but then you have to put a terrible pun in there too. While still recovering in the hospital after giving birth, the mom of two thought she had seen it all until a lactation consultant casually informed her that she'd sprouted an extra breast in a place that no one expected. I feel like I'm going to get a community strike if I continue scrolling down the article. You know how cows and puppies and kittens, they all have that line of nipples? Well, actually, humans have that too. She recalled being told in a now viral TikTok. I had like maybe 3 hours of collective sleep in the last 2 days before she tells me this news. And she gamely showed it off to help other women learn more about their own bodies. I have had 6 children and a third boob has never appeared. I would have been in the remake of Total Recall if that had happened. Now, the jaw-dropping discovery came after the consultant dropped by her room shortly after she'd given birth. And that is fairly typical. You'll have consultants come in, especially for new moms, if you want to nurse. There is kind of there is kind of a lot of things that you might be afraid to, try as a new mom or you might not know. So these the women that come in and help with that are super nice, but at that point you're sleep deprived, you have just given birth to a human and okay, and I'll share with you. If anyone knows a new mom, look, I was scared to death I was going to smother my child with my boobs. And the lactation, so my first child, and that's lovely. You've got a child, they're like, you're gonna raise it, and you suddenly realize you sort of started with goldfish or something that you were probably mature enough to handle. And then this like 80-year-old lactation nurse comes in and she's like, no, just shove her face in there. And I'm like, I don't know if you know this as a nurse, but they have to breathe. And she's like, no, their little nose is smushed so they can create a pocket. I don't know why that sticks with me, but the little nasal adaptation to not get smothered by boob has always stick with me as the weirdest thing that anyone has ever said to me in my life. But it is true. So listen to the lactation consultants. They actually know what they're talking about, but it is the oddest thing. Like, no. Just squish them in there. And I'm like, I don't know if you know this, but humans need to breathe. Okay, I want to see this third boob. We've No. God, no. N- Look, ma'am, I am generally not a fan of cosmetic surgery unless it makes you feel better, but no. Absolutely just no. 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 Look, I already have enough issues with my bingo wings. Hell no. I'm done. Nope. Nope. I am glad my tubes are tied. I think I asked the doctor to put super glue there, but I'm not sure if he did that. But seriously, no. Just no. And for our last final form Jesus, because I want Jesus to be a little proud of us, we have a new bestest dog ever. A Doberman Pinscher named Penny has won the Best in Show at the 150th Annual Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show. Now, I will say that, gosh, I forgot her name. Catherine O'Hare. She just passed away and she was in Best in Show. It's a hilarious movie. I don't understand it, but it's a hilarious movie. It's got Eugene Levy in it and other people. I am not my mother. I do not know actors. I know Eugene Levy because I call him Eyebrow Man. The dog was named Penny, and the win was priceless. A Doberman Pinscher named Penny won Best in Show on Tuesday night at the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show, netting the U.S. Dog Show's most coveted prize and earning veteran Andy Linton another win after nearly 4 decades. Linton got Best in Show in 1989 with another Doberman named Indy. Oh, do the people get awards too? Is he like the coach or the owner? Because are they the same thing? I feel like, I also feel like Penny is like Duchess Pennington the third, Esquire Fluffy Butt. I just feel like she has a really long, like Christian name, if that makes any sense. Like Penny's her informal name. I feel like it's, Duchess Prudence Pennyworth the third. I mean, she does walk like she's bougie. Penny is a great Doberman, Linton said to a supportive crowd. Despite undergoing health problems, he guided the 4-year-old dog through a razor crisp performance. I had some goals, and this was one of them, said Linton. Well, I'm glad he ran around the circle, too. Runner up went to a Chesapeake Bay retriever named Coda, while Dobermans have won 5 times, including last Tuesday. No retriever has ever won. That seems odd because golden retrievers, aren't they the most popular dogs in America? It's a pretty dog. She's pretty. And look, dogs can be trained. Look, I am a good cat mom in that I know that they're not going to listen to me. Dogs require someone in charge that know someone that won't, when the eyes do this thing, won't give them bacons. And I am not that mom. I am definitely not that mom. But we have, so for today, for some reason, I was in a puppy kitten kind of mood when we went to clips. And, you know, there are days for that, and I am here for it. So for our first clip, we have, well, sometimes you're a good dog, you're a good canine officer, and sometimes you step a little outside the law.
It makes sense that you might get distracted, get called away, but then you come back and find that someone has stolen your meal.
Wouldn't be a good feeling. Reporter Faraz Javed tells us a little more about how one Michigan police officer's sandwich disappeared and who the culprit was.
Nearly 40 officers serve the Wyandotte Police Department.
I love that this, again, I love that local news covers this stuff. It's not something that would generally make it to national news, but I love this story. And I love, at least it's not the cone of shame.
Holding the law to the T.
But now one of their very own is being accused of a deplorable act.
It's usually not something another officer would do.
Officer Kate Barwig has been on the force for 5 years. The 28-year-old...
5 years? Doogie Howser over here looks 12. This guy looks like he's trying out for 90210. He's about 30, but he's going to play a 20-year-old or an 18-year-old. What in the 21 Jump Street is this?
tells me that the incident happened in this break room during lunchtime.
Get out my lunchbox, get my sandwich out. I take 1 or 2 bites of it.
Officer Barwig immediately gets called to assist with an unruly prisoner. Upon his return, Officer Barwig was shocked to see his salami monster sandwich gone.
Then I realized Ice was up here. Officer Ice.
Salami monster. Oh no, it's Ice. Oh hell no, we didn't see this twist coming up. This is some Game of Thrones shit. Wait, Ice is here? Oh god, that's the reporter? Why is the reporter dressed up like Paul's mom dressed him up? Look, Paul has forever tainted the sweater button-down shirt combination for you men.
I knew that was kind of his track record.
Officer Ice has been on the K-9 unit for 11 years. The German Shepherd is a decorated cop who has assisted several federal agencies. Detective Sergeant Ken Grote.
He's like, sandwich? What sandwich? I didn't see no sandwich. Was there an evidence log? Do you have a chain of custody on that sandwich? I will plead the fifth. Where is my union representative?
Says Ice also has hundreds of drug busts under his belt.
He found over.
This is so funny in current timeline. It would be K9 Ice.
For a kilo of heroin in a wall in a house in Detroit.
The Wyandotte Police Department posted the incident on social media, noting that Officer Ice has pleaded the fifth and asked for public opinion. The post since has gone viral, with thousands of likes and over 8,000 shares. Lieutenant Neil Hunter tells me folks believe Officer Ice is being framed.
Everybody says the face says it all. He's innocent. He's got a handsome face, and he just couldn't do something this heinous.
Now, pretty much every day, Officer Ice receives treats and toys not only from Michigan, but from around the world.
Okay, and then I stumbled across, because my algorithm is awesome. Now, I don't know what caused this to happen 9 years ago, but I am here for it. I feel bad for the soldiers, but apparently the King of Norway decided to promote a penguin to brigadier general in the Norwegian King's Guard for reasons. And I'm here for it. I'm not here for the soldiers to have to wear whatever this is out in the rain. That is 100% polyester. You know that. But we are going to get to the part where because you can tell this penguin knew he was special. The penguin's like, yes, I have come to inspect you. I will take my time. Short legs, coming through. Yes. I was like, he's like, this is not up to standard. I was Thomas Fish. I was like, I don't know what caused this to happen, but I'm here for it. When I'm president, I'm knighting a bunch of penguins, even though we don't have knights. Hell, I'm replacing Congress with penguins and puppies. Vote for me. On a side note, there was one person in my life, and I would just like to write a few things. Someone a long time ago, when I was not dating Mr. Mo, in that like 2 weeks, I wasn't married. I had made a joke about going after Prince Harry because honestly, the English family couldn't do worse than an American, single mom with 3 kids. And I would just like to say that at this point, I would have been better for the monarchy than the current wife of that weird redhead. So, bite me, the person who said that. I just felt that I needed to be vindicated today for some reason. I can't mother a 4th child. At that point, it would have been like me mothering a 4th child, not having a partner. And at least I only feel that way 10% of the time with Mr. Mo because we are both big goofballs. So I did better. I love this. She's like, what? No salute? Like, all right, I guess so. Now, here's the funniest part, because he's chill up until he gets his little award, and then he seems to know. Oh, he sees himself. There is I love how he goes over and he's like, "Oh, you got my good side. Thank you." Yes, I'm attractive. Hello, I was promised a king. Where is the royalty? I was told that there would be important people here, not you, schmuck. No, Jerry. I was told that there would be important people here, and now I've got this Congress asshole. Jerry, I was promised a cake. And this is where Oswald Cobblepot becomes the penguin. Dun dun dun. He's like, bye, bitches. He's like, who's believing now? I'ma leave when I want. I'm looking at you. That's not attention-y enough. And then I made him a little song. Bow to the me, I'm the me, you have to bow to me. Bow to the me, I'm in charge, you have to fear me. Bow to the me, I'm the me, and I'm in charge. Again, I have no idea as to what events caused this to be in the timeline that is in humanity, but I'm here for it. Now, for our final clip, I do try to always end with, something that will make us happy or happy for humanity. And this is actually, this is the best catapult launch from an aircraft carrier. Now, name things that Mo will never do. This, not sedated. Look, I trust Navy pilots. I trust every person there. What I don't trust is the fact that my luck is great enough that all of the things will work together. I have seen Final Destination, so look, for everyone's safety, I simply need to be knocked out if you guys are going to do this. I'm like Mr. T on the A-Team. Just knock me out, don't tell me where we're going, and I will safely be launched from anywhere. This is not a plea for a kidnapping. I just realized if you clip that and just listen to it, no, I consensually and only on an aircraft carrier. That really didn't clarify anything. Let's just go to the clip.
Crewman aircraft carrier. I'm your host, Rob Roy. That's me on the right side of the screen. And I thought I'd bring you along today to experience what it's like to take a catapult shot in a Navy C-2 Greyhound. As you can see, we are turning around the flight deck, passing in front of some Hornets and some Super Hornets right in front of us. And we're going to be lining up on Catapult 3. And that right there is another C-2 in front of us. You can tell because it looks like an E-2 Hawkeye, except there's no dome on top. And we're the only other propeller plane on an aircraft carrier.
I somehow feel like the government might have an issue with them showing this, but since he doesn't seem to be in the Hooskow, apparently he's not showing any of the button or clicky things, so maybe this is a recruiting tool.
It's the E2 and the C2. That thing sticking up in front of us is called a JBD, or Jet Blast Deflector. It is there to stop as much prop wash or jet blast as possible.
I just want to get catapulted.
Parts.
Stop
Okay,
talking.
JBD. Right, that's which way we turn with the nose wheel steering. There's left again. Now he's still taxiing us for another second or two, but we
No, I just want to see y'all get
have
catapulted.
to get passed off to the other
Because that's not something I would
sign in the air. Look for the thumbs up from my co-pilot and myself. Yep, that means we are confirming that that is our weight. Also, you can see we just unfolded our wings. If you look at the top right of the window, see them locking into place right there. But back to that weight.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not trusting a wing that can collapse. Hell no. Again, this is why you need me to be sedated, because I'm going to start trying to calculate with my non-engineering mind the stress factors that go into whatever mechanical device allows them to fold and how it could have microfractures. Again, just knock me out for everyone's sanity. For all of our sanities, just knock me the hell out.
Go into the water. If the habits is too heavy, that means the shuttle on the catapult could rip out the nose wheel from our aircraft. So very important that weight matches up. Now we're looking back at the yellow shirt. He's taxiing us forward ever so slightly. Pay attention to the other yellow shirt to the left. He's going to get our attention here in a second or two. All right, there's a closed fist from the director in front of us, meaning come to a stop. Now it's our chance to wipe out the controls, making sure nothing is in the way, doing the rudder pedals as well. Now look at the yellow shirt to the left. He's trying to confirm with us our flap settings. Flaps, 1, 0, yep, 10-degree flaps. Going flying. 1, 4 to the side, meaning 9, 119 knots. Thumbs up for me confirming that. If he would have given a 1 to the side, that would be 6, 2 to the side at 7, and so on and so forth. Basically, he's confirming that our end speed that we calculated for ourselves is matching what they have in their system as well. You can imagine why that's really important. I'm just getting out some last minute cracks before we take a catapult shot. Still looking around the flight deck. We are waiting to be taxied just ever so slightly forward to be locked.
So are the mustaches standard issue? Or did they talk to each other and coordinate? Because I feel like the matching mustaches is a little too much.
Into the shuttle. All right, now we're taxiing forward a little bit more. I'm looking at another director to the right side of our cockpit, probably below the GoPro on the bottom screen, below the dash. He's telling us to taxi just a little bit forward. At this point in time, my co-pilot is keeping his head on the swivel, looking all around the flight deck, keeping up really good situational awareness. He's also looking inside the cockpit, making sure that no lights come on that shouldn't be coming on. Basically, he's done this many, many times, and he's making sure that nothing is out of the ordinary. Look at the yellow shirt to the left. Look at his dance. I love how they do that. They love the dance on the flight deck. Very professional, yet also having a really good time when you're on deployment. Any second now, the shuttle of the catapult is going to grab a hold of our airplane and squat the airplane down, meaning we're in tension. And there's the airplane squatting down, meaning we are locked and loaded. That catapult
I like that the airplane also objects to squatting.
could fire at any given
Like
time,
me.
so we are running up to full power just in case it does. Look at the yellow shirt to the left. He's saying, I got it, with a run-up signal with his left hand. We are inside the cockpit now, looking at all of our gauges. Circuit breakers, making sure they're all pushed in. Looking at our panel, at all of our instruments, good highs, oil pressure, trim, configuration, everything looks good, nothing out of the ordinary, no lights. I like it, he likes it. There's a thumbs up and a
You
salute.
should be wearing your sunglasses.
That thumbs up, by the way, definitely not by the book, and it was a left-hand salute in this case because, as you can see, my right hand is holding onto the power levers as if my life depends on it, because it does. Here we go, 0 to 120 knots in less than 2 seconds. Woo! Big turn to the left in case we have to ditch the airplane, and we are out of here. See ya!
Squid pro quo. As always, I am glad that there are people that find this exhilarating instead of terrifying, but I am afraid of heights. That the runway is super duper high off the ocean, there are just so many reasons that I would not have cut it in the military. It was very cool. I actually thought I had another clip, but I must have look, I pull so many things. I have so many tabs. I thought I had pulled something else, but this is so cool. Like I said, thank you to all of our service members who do things here and in the National Guard and in the Coast Guard and everything to keep us safe. Because y'all know I would need to be fully quaaludes out to even do that, and then I wouldn't be able to fly. Uh, Housekeeping stuff. We will not be starting until 11 today with the Paul Canero case because we are going to be having basically, we're starting with the defense's cross in order to be able to speed through that and save our sanity. We are going to be starting a little bit later, but I will have Mad Libs ready. So we will be playing some Paul Canero specific Mad Libs to keep us going through. Today is Wednesday, so I will be doing 2 streams today because I have to go pick up the kiddos, which I'm glad that we have a new system where I just show I just have a card with like my kids' names on it because I used to have to do like facial recognition stuff, and as you can tell, I'm not me today, and I would always have to show not only my driver's license, but have my kids ID me too because okay, to be fair, I did show up to the school once or twice as Sarah Boone, so I can understand their questioning my sanity. Uh, so I do get that there is a point to it, and I do want my kids to be safe. But at this point, I do dress up for a semi-profitable hobby that wants to become a business. We know this. Why do you make a big deal about it every time I come to school in an outfit? Well, look, okay, I'll be real. I will be wearing something over this because I could possibly be marked as a scarlet. We are like, it is a Christian school. So yeah, I will be wearing a jacket, but you know, I was like, y'all, I don't I don't know. I guess I recognize me in this because I saw me put it on. But there you go. Internal things that Mo deals with. My kids are like, why are you a weird person again today? And I'm like, honey, you've got it wrong. I'm always weird. I'm just wearing a wig today. And my middle son said, well, that's not helpful to me because you're my mom and that means I'm like you. And I was like, yeah, I never promised you normal. I promised you authentic. He's not reassured by that, but he'll have something to tell Oprah. Anyway, I will see you guys at 11. Stay warm and toasty in between that, and then we will be suffering through the defense as little as possible, I hope. I hope that maybe the judge was lying to us and the state's done. But I fear that is a far gone hope. Because of the Paul Canero trial taking a little longer, I will be talking to Nick and seeing if he wants to do. I know with our times, it's going to be different, but we might do the reverse Banfield trial on Saturdays or something like that. So if this trial does take long, we can do some prep work for the Corey Richins trial and kind of get you guys ready for that, since that will be starting in theory, at the end of this month. So we are trying to get that stuff done. Shizzy and I are working on the Sarah Boone Puppet Theater. So we are getting stuff done, and my daughter is nearly done with my laptop. So crafting is going to be happening very soon. Actually, I'm actually excited because in theory, my bigger stand is supposed to be coming in today, and I'm trying to see if it's finagly enough. Look, I should have measured before I bought it. I'm not gonna lie, but it did say adjustable. So I'm wondering if it'll fit over my chair and I can cross stitch, because that's the only thing I was worried about, is having enough free time with doing live trials. And if I can set up one of my cameras here and do my cross stitch while I'm doing the trial, I can do different voiceover work on the craft channel and still be functional, because it's that hours in the day thing that I'm running out of. But that is a constant struggle. I do tend to have a lot of ideas and have to then think of how to work them. I never generally have the plan first and the idea next. I've rarely has that ever happened. Although I did, you know what? I did plan one child. So you can try to guess which one that is. That'll be my next question and answer. Which child was intentional? And it's not the one you would think. But intentional or not, I love them all. They were all the greatest things that have ever happened to me and also made me crazy. So, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I will see you guys in a little bit. Stay warm, stay toasty, and, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire, because, some days we don't have a dragon, but we have sarcasm. Bye, you guys.